Yeah, we got the Cameron Rump double dip tonight, and it is that time of the year, just hours away from the most meaningful month as we say goodbye to February and say hello to a Kentucky team that is starting to look really good. And Big Blue Nation consensus. 6 straight wins and an interesting challenge in front of them tonight. Kentucky, now number 9 in the country, fresh off the impressive win against Florida, facing Vanderbilt. Commodores hot themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9. It is senior night. Moments ago, veterans Michael Mulder, Dom Hawkins, and Derek Willis. They were honored. Coach Cal has never lost on senior night here at Kentucky. Hawkins, Mulder, Willis all playing over 11 minutes per game. And a surprise moment. Keely Potts said yes. Derek Willis proposed marriage to his girlfriend. And what a way to start the night here at Kentucky. As we continue on with Super Tuesday, presented by CenturyLink. Thrilled you're with us watching the SEC on ESPN. Final 2 regular season games await all these SEC teams as we get ready for the tournament in Nashville. Kentucky avenged the earlier loss to Florida. In doing so, they have earned themselves that 1-game lead, you see. Plenty of other movement, though, that has the SEC postseason hopes looking much better. Arkansas is on the upswing. Ole Miss, Bama, and this Vandy team all sit with 9 conference wins. Joe Tessitore and Sean Farnham with you as we continue on with Super Tuesday. How about Willis here? You think he's going to make the highlights a little bit, getting down on the knee?
I'm telling you, I'm wondering how he's going to shoot the ball early in this game, just based on the magic of that moment.
Listen, that was more nerve-wracking. Trust me, we've been there. Huge opportunity for Vanderbilt this week. They got this game, plus they got Florida. Size them up for March.
I think if they get one, I think they're going to be okay. They got to try to get a split somehow, some way this, as you look at their schedule and their strength of their resume overall. Number 1 non-conference strength of schedule. I think that is huge for them. They've got wins at Florida. They got wins at Arkansas. The big change for Vandy during this win streak has been their ability to defend the basketball. They're going to need to control the tempo and slow the Cats down tonight.
Kentucky with a win tonight, Sean. They can lock up that number 1 seed in Nashville for the SEC tourney.
Well, and they're like I just mentioned about with Vanderbilt. They're playing great defense, in particular in the pick-and-roll defense. So much better than they were a couple of weeks ago. They're staying attached to the ball a little bit better. Their help side rotations are a little bit crisper. I think that's what you want to see from Kentucky. Consistency and effort, and at the defensive end heading into March.
Remember, they didn't have De'Aaron Fox, the great point guard Saturday. Kaylee had the knee bruise. What's the latest?
Well, Tess, De'Aaron Fox is ready to go. He has been medically cleared after bruising his left knee a week ago. He was full speed in practice yesterday, fully participated in shoot-around today. He and his staff both comfortable and confident that he's good to go, though one member of the staff did joke with me, if he wants to stay in the game, he better guard someone. Now, on any other night, he'd be right back in the starting lineup, but on this senior night, he'll start on the bench to give way for those 3 seniors to start.
Yes, we will see Mulder, Hawkins, and Willis in the starting lineup. Willis is averaging a career best 4.8 rebounds per.
Tess, I'll tell you, senior night is a special night for anybody that has ever played at the college level. It matters a little bit more. Frank Mason last night tearing up for Kansas as he came out of the game and got the round of applause from the fans there. The pregame ceremony tonight, you've got to channel that energy and turn it into a positive.
So 6 straight wins for Kentucky after that little 1-3 stretch they had, and 4 straight wins for this Vandy team, who has been shooting the 3 ball very, very well.
Well, if you've not seen Vanderbilt play this year, they do not get a lot of points in the paint. They live and die from beyond the arc. Even when they're down 15 points, it's really just 5 possessions. Very comfortable at spacing the floor, trying to find a way to score.
There's the follow-up by the big 7'1" Luke Cornett.
You mentioned Vanderbilt just 23 points per game in the paint. Fewest amongst major conference teams. They start the game by getting too easy underneath.
Willis off the mark. Second chance opportunity. Mulder, he shorts that too, so both seniors pulling the trigger early on. Here's Roberson coming off a big game himself. Willis the rebound. Roberson had 23 against Mississippi State this weekend.
Defensive philosophy so common to what we've seen against Kentucky because they play so quick. The shot goes up. Vanderbilt's just saying we're not going to even try to get an offensive rebound. We're getting back to the other end of the floor.
Turnover as Adebayo got tied up that time. Bryce Drew his first year at Vandy. He's talking about what a great opportunity this is to be in this situation, considering where they were just a few weeks ago, Sean.
Well, just completely turned the corner, and I think so much of that has to be on the shoulders of Bryce Drew. And in year one, you're looking to build your culture, set the foundation of your program. I think if you're a Vanderbilt fan and you're watching the way this team has improved during the course of the season, there is no way you're not pleased and encouraged about the direction in which it's going.
Dressler scores on the drive, the former Ivy Leaguer who transferred in from Cornell.
Vanderbilt shares the basketball very well.
Here's Bam, coming double, gets it out to Mulder. Briscoe into the paint, pivots, Bam, 15-footer. That rattles out, and Dressler has the rebound. Fox and Monk are ready to check in for Kentucky. And as the three seniors got the night started. And Dressler again, this time for three.
Well, what did Coach Cal tell us right after shoot-around today? They got off to a sluggish start against Florida. He says they got to come out with better sense of purpose and intensity from the start of the game, and they have not done it, in particular at the defensive end of the floor early in this contest.
As fouls charged to Riley LaChance, and Briscoe will head to the line. He got down by 12 early to Florida. Says he's happy the way they fight back, but he wants to see more consistency. He wants them to fight for 40 minutes.
Well, and the key part about it, as Fox and Monk check into the game for Mulder and Hawkins. The thing about it is, when you're playing Vanderbilt tests, you know that they're a great shooting team from the outside, so you do want to stay tight, you want to fight over the top of screens, and you want to force them to put the ball down on the ground. They are not an elite-level team at attacking off the bounce.
And Briscoe breaks through onto the scoreboard. So Monk and Fox into the game. Remember, Fox missed Saturday's game against Florida. Kelly told you about the left knee contusion. Picked up that injury hitting the floor last Tuesday at Mizzou. Game that had some anxious moments for Big Blue Nation. Coach Cal made the comment to us that feels Vandy is playing their absolute best basketball and making their shots, cutting hard. It's a game that he wanted to get everybody's attention on today at shoot-around. Monk was trying to get it into Bam, and the turnover. Cornette trailing, long three. Back rim, long rebound, Fox.
So far, though, defensive transition has been strong for Vanderbilt, getting back, not allowing Kentucky to get any easy looks.
Kick out. Fox rolls it in. Welcome back to action for De'Aaron Fox. Averages 15.5 per.
Bam Adebayo has done such a better job on the boards. Last two games, 15 rebounds per.
Monk a little long that time.
And that was a rushed shot and an ill-advised shot from Malik Monk.
Leading scorer in the SEC. He's 21.5. Dressler coming around against Monk. And that was denied. To the corner. Cornette couldn't get it to drop. There's Big Bam. Inside out. Willis. Briscoe the rebound.
Remember, it was Briscoe with the big game in the first meeting. Had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists as Monk and Fox picked up early foul trouble in Nashville.
That was a career high against Vandy the first go-round. Dressler Goes right around and scores. He's off to a very good start. He has 7.
A nice job just stopping on a dime, changing direction. And the defense was caught standing straight up. When you're standing up, you're not quick. Kressler was lower. He got there better, faster.
Monk against Toy. And he was fouled that time. A bit of a slow start for Kentucky.
Getting off to a good start. Very important as far as building confidence for the Commodores. Joe Lunardi has them barely in the field. They've got to defend. They've got to find ways to score. And even though they've relied so much on the three-point shot, early in this one, they're getting in the paint.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink. Your link to what's next.
So much talk about the outside shooting for Vandy. 6 of their 9 points early on here are in the paint.
Well, and Tess, I think that was the point of emphasis. Obviously, shoot around for Kentucky time and time again. Hey, they shoot the ball well from beyond the arc, and they're closing out so hard. There's a lot of space and gaps in the defense right now. They've been able to get inside. Obviously, Kressler is off to the good start, but the other thing they've been able to do is capitalize on turnovers early. 3 Kentucky turnovers have led to 4 points. One of the key stats that we'll watch all night long is Vanderbilt's ability to take care of the ball. Only 1 turnover in the game so far. They've got to take care of that ball and make sure they limit the opportunities for runouts for the Wildcats.
Kressler 3 of 3 shooting already. Saw his season average at 7.7. He's already got 7. Inside, Gabriel. And that won't drop for the Cats, but into the hands of Monk.
Kentucky might set a record for bench points tonight.
Considering who came off the bench.
Fox and Monk coming off the bench.
Right now they need to get going. That's the guy that usually provides it. A little bit of contact there. So came around. Back to Kressler.
Through the ball movement. Very limited dribbles, forcing the defense to have to rotate as they pass around the perimeter.
And Baptiste took steps. Vandy coach Bryce Drew is wired up for us tonight.
No step through, good, jump ball. Good job, Jeff. Stunt, stunt, stunt. Switch, switch, switch. Stay up, stay up.
Great to have Coach give us that access. We appreciate that.
Well, of course, he's talking so much about the defense of this team. And 2 turnovers, by the way, last 2 possessions for Vanderbilt. They cannot afford to have empty possessions. But the defense is so important to what Vanderbilt is trying to build culture-wise. And I think the one thing that has impressed me more than anything for Bryce Drew is how he's slowly integrating this team's defensive principles to how he likes to coach and how he expects his team to play. He's adapted his offense. They're essentially running similar stuff to what Kevin Stallings ran because this team is limited as far as toughness, physical, elite level athletes that can compete.
Boy, Kentucky just 1 of 10 shooting. Get this night going here. There's Kressler again as he leans in and off the glass. Nolan Kressler. High off the glass that time by Malik Monk. Remember, he started a little slow against Florida, but he made up for it in the second half. He had 30 of his 33 in the second half. And that's Saturday against Florida.
5th time this season that Malik Monk has had 20 or more points in a single half.
Roberson. Gabriel came out to contest that and was way off the mark. And there's Fox on the go. Little stutter and then stripped away. Good hands that time by Kressler. He has come to play here at Rupp.
A little bit of a heat check.
Maybe he was feeling it a little too much for him.
Bringing that one back down. Take quick shots that lead to quick rebounds. Again, I think Vanderbilt's got to play this game at their pace, their tempo. So far, they've been able to do that.
He had a 20-point game against Iowa State in that Big 12 SEC Challenge, and that was a game You look back as there was contact that time as Monk was fouled. But that was a game that really jump-started things for Vandy. They've won 7 of 9.
The Wildcats struggling at the offensive end of the floor. It's been Vanderbilt's defense early. Quick hands by Kressler at one end. Gets it done there, and why not? At the other end of the floor, he's been red hot since the start of this game, finding his spot and able to finish. 7-point lead.
Sean, give me your SEC March to March. Who's primed for position here?
Look, I think there's locks. You always say lock it up, Farnham. I'm locking it up with all 4 of these teams. Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina, and Arkansas. They have done enough to be in the NCAA tournament field. I think there's work to be done for Vanderbilt. Off to a good start here tonight. They've got 2 golden opportunities this week. Meanwhile, for Georgia, playing without Yante Maton, they're an interesting team and a dangerous team in the SEC tournament based on the fact that they have played so many tight contests throughout the course of this SEC season.
Bracket Buzz is brought to you by Cheez-It. Lenardi says 5 SEC teams as of now. Vanderbilt, last team in, and Georgia among the first 4 out, along with Georgia Tech, Wake, and URI. But there sits Vandy. An opportunity is in front of them. Here tonight against Kentucky. They get Florida on Saturday. And, of course, we will see if there is still work to be done. Champ Week starts tomorrow, and then next week we'll be in Nashville. See if there's work to be done for Vanderbilt back home in Nashville next week. Or can they get one of the big dogs this week?
You and I cannot wait to get to Nashville.
You got the restaurants lined up, my friend?
Actually, no, D-Mop, our director. He was on reservation duty, I think, 2 weeks ago. It's important to know where you want to eat.
He's like a walking Zagat in that mind of his. Trust me, we're in good shape.
Our personal Yelp.
Shot clock under 5. Toy forces up the high arcing 3. We'll check in with Bailey.
Well, it says Nolan Kressler was asked earlier this week if his team was paying any attention to this bubble talk for the NCAA tournament. He said, it's in our heads, but we're not paying attention each game and coming back to the locker room like, where does Joe DiNardo have us in the standings?
I'm sorry, what did
he say? Joe DiNardo, with all due respect to our colleague, Joe Lenardi.
A little bit of an insult, just a little bit.
I would just say this, Joe, reach out to Vanderbilt. They're very, highly educated kids. You help them out. He teaches a class, Joe Lenardi.
That's right. That was a really poor pass. The big man Cornette easily secured it. Willis on the drive. Up and in.
Well, there was nobody there when he first caught the ball. I don't know why he even hesitated. A nice job by Willis to get by him.
That was one of those too good to be true hesitations as Peyton Willis, the freshman from Fayetteville, Arkansas, gives him a 7-point lead. Hawkins. The runner won't go. Another rebound for Cornette. Fisher Davis tried the long ball. Humphreys. Briscoe. Rejected that time by Matthew Fisher Davis. Here's Willis now.
Willis was the number 2 ranked player in the state of Arkansas coming out of high school. Number 1 was Malik Monk, but it's Willis with the last 5.
10-point lead, Vandy.
Tess, we talked about it right off the top. Vanderbilt, much better commitment being made to the defensive end of the floor. Opponents have really struggled. And subsequently, Vanderbilt has brought that to tonight's contest and finding themselves in a rhythm. Too much space there between Willis and Gabriel, able to knock down the 3-point shot. But what has impressed me more than anything so far has been the defense that Vanderbilt has been able to play.
Willis couldn't get it to drop. Kentucky has missed their last 5 shot attempts. One of their last 12. Toy. And Vandy is red hot. Best 3-point shooting team in the SEC, leading the conference in 3-point shooting percentage. And they're showcasing it here. Monk can't connect, rattles out. Fisher Davis the rebound.
Well, Kentucky is ice cold and Vanderbilt's on fire.
12-2 run for Vandy.
Because they're getting whatever they want offensively right now.
stay with the doors.
You drive down the lane, collapse the defense. If you help off, there's going to be a wide open shooter. Willis gets the seam, and look how far in Fox pinched in. The rotation a little too long for Briscoe to get there, and it's an uncontested corner three.
Joe Toy pushes his lead to 13. How about it? 22-6. 15-2 run. Toy drops it in again.
That's going to be a travel.
Turnover. They're sixth.
The scouting report reads Vanderbilt can shoot the basketball, and Toy has been more than willing to get that done so far. Watch the catch. Too much space. Hands are down. Your hands have got to be up. You've got to close that gap. You have to force them to put the ball on the ground.
Third turnover for De'Aaron Fox. Back to action after being out with a bruised knee. Here's the guy with the hot hand. Off the ball screen against Mulder. Here he is driving baseline. And he was fouled there. Well, Saturday night on ESPN, it'll be the rematch of the Blue Devils and Tar Heels. Number 17 Duke, number 5 UNC in a sonic blockbuster Saturday night, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Duke bounced back after the couple losses tonight against Florida State. What happened last night with North Carolina? I was stunned in seeing that, Sean.
Look, the best rebounding team in the country was -3 on the offensive glass to a team that really doesn't have a front court in Virginia. And that game was completely dictated in tempo and flow by what the Cavaliers wanted to do.
They can't miss right now. Cornette puts down another, and Vandy is rolling at Rupp.
You think Vanderbilt came out with a sense of urgency, an understanding of the level of importance of this game? They got a lot of basketball left, but they are on fire.
And finally, Kentucky stops the bleeding. They had gone 8 straight trips without scoring.
The spacing offensively, the scouting report is clear. They can shoot the ball. Too much space, wide open shots. Vandy, they are in a rhythm right now.
Vandy with 9 points off 6 Kentucky turnovers, 25-9 thanks to that 18-2 run.
5 made 3-pointers though for Vanderbilt. As we watch this play develop, as the ball starts to come up the floor, we'll freeze it right here. He's going to drive and get into this seam. That's going to force De'Aaron Fox to have to step over. That means the long run has to come from Isaiah Briscoe. Watch what happens. Briscoe's watching the ball, has no awareness of where Toy is in the corner. Can't give that much space, and that's what the offense does so well for Vanderbilt. They space you out, and they force the defense to overcommit.
Sophomore Joe Toy from Chicago. He has 2 of their 5 3-pointers. Bryce Drew's hot Commodores team. They have won 4 straight. And right on that bubble, Joe Lunardi says last team in as of right now. Check in with Haley.
Coach Cal wants his team to extend their defense full court. I think every coach in that huddle took the opportunity to tell their team they've got no energy on the defensive side. Cal telling them they've got to be more disruptive. He says you can't just let Vanderbilt run their offense. You got to disrupt them.
Well, and I think part of that, Kaylee, is because the frustration at the offensive end bleeding over to the defensive end. They are struggling so bad right now, shooting just 17% so far here in the first half at home. But I think that's frustrating them at the defensive end of the floor, and there's that carryover.
Rejected by Cornette was Monk. As Kentucky's shooting only 16% here.
And think about this. Kentucky scored 46 points in the paint back on January 10th against Vanderbilt. The most the Commodores have allowed in the last 5 seasons. They've given up only 2 so far here tonight.
It was an 87 run. That counts. Big, bad, bam.
Well, there's 2 more you can add in points in the paint.
Dressler turns Rough crowd was looking for a little juice that time. Monk couldn't deliver. Still a 14-point margin. Kressler was fouled, coming around as Mulder will be charged with that foul, his first.
Good possession the previous time. Watch the screen. So the screen comes. He's going to roll right to the rim as he looks to attack. The defense has got to make a decision. And as Luke Cornett stays with him just long enough to allow that ball to get thrown up over the top and allow Big Bam to finish it.
Duke Carolina will be Saturday night at 8:15. The rematch. They beat Florida State tonight. Of course, got the best of UNC. Mulder on senior night. And a timeout, Vandy.
I like the timeout by Bryce Drew because he's protecting the lead. He's calming everybody down. You're starting to build the momentum. Build for the Wildcats. A nice little shot fake, drive by, and a strong finish by Mike Mulder. This is what Kentucky needs to do. Start turning down shots, use their athleticism, beat the help line defense, and finish at the basket.
So a 7-0 run for the Cats. Remember, they dug themselves out of that hole on Saturday against Florida. Coach Cal talked about having some fight, being a little more consistent with it. Can they fight back here against Vandy in this first half? 5:42 to play, trailing by 12.
Great way to manufacture effort and energy is extending out your defense, pressing.
That looked like a travel to me. Sure did. Fisher Davis seemed to take that extra step. Vandy's been scoreless the last 3 possessions. Missed 2 shots, had that ugly turnover. Shot clock under 5. Fisher Davis forces it. Bam with the rebound.
And that was another possession that was just empty.
We got bodies crashing as Dom Hawkins lost the handle, and we'll have a tie-up, and possession arrow will stay with Kentucky.
Important games. Get loose with it. Bodies colliding. Look at Malik Monk diving up over the top. And a good job by Nolan Kressler to try to corral that ball as well. This is what I love about this time of year, partner. We're talking about February bleeding into March, the NCAA tournament around the corner. Every game, in particular for these two teams, you're talking about a Kentucky team that's trying to improve its seeding and its momentum heading into the NCAA tournament, and a Vanderbilt team that's fighting for its NCAA lives.
Remember, Kentucky can secure the #1 seed in the SEC tournament with a win tonight. Vandy's trying to go dancing. Last team in, according to Lombardi, as of now. They want a big notch in that belt. Doesn't get bigger in this league than this. Kressler. Rejected by Willis. Monk. As he will head to the line. So Willis got a big yes pregame, proposing marriage to his girlfriend, and then sent out a big no here, Farnham.
Oh, Tess. Watch the rotation. The defense slips. Willis slides over and just absolutely erases it. I like that. A big yes before the game and a big denial and a no at the iron.
We're professionals here, my man.
You've done this before, Tess.
Keely Potts. Here she is. We go from Keely to Kaylee.
Well, Tess, now Derek Willis has been dating his girlfriend Keely for about 3 years now. He's told me he's been thinking about asking the big question to her tonight for a while, but he didn't tell any of his teammates that it was actually going down tonight until just before they came out on the court tonight for the pregame ceremony. I am told the locker room went absolutely nuts.
Well, you know who he did tell, because he was given some advice, was Farnham. Farnham's over here giving him advice,
Drink
coaching
water.
him up.
Drink water. You don't want to have cotton mouth. Like, I mean, I proposed to my wife in front of her entire soccer team, and the pictures were horrible. I mean, I just like so nervous. I got the cotton mouth thing going. Derek actually said he appreciated the advice.
His wife was a great soccer player at UCLA when he did that. Pass off the turnover. 5 for Vandy. Monk trying to hit the trailer. Instead, it's Willis on the go. Leaves it for Kressler. And Fisher Davis couldn't control it. A little too much.
The game is too fast right now. Guys are trying to make this sensational play instead of just making the simple play. So we've got Dom Hopkins losing the ball. Malik Monk loses it the last time. You have the quick turnover when you've got a number situation for Vanderbilt. Somebody's got to settle this thing right back down.
Bam was fouled trying to go up for the glory end.
The pick and roll action has been really good for Kentucky, forcing the big to have to make a decision.
It's charged on Jerry Baptiste. Bam was the SEC Freshman of the Week, averaged 20 points and 15 rebounds in 2 games. Tomorrow night on ESPN, we got the NBA Wednesday doubleheader. At 8 is the Cavs and the Celtics. Then at 10:30, Rockets and Clippers, and coverage tips with NBA Countdown charged by Mountain Dew at 7.
The Clippers back with CP3. They've got to try to improve their positioning in the Western Conference.
Of course, in the Eastern Conference, it's Cleveland leading the Celtics by 4 games.
Good job Brad Stevens has done. And Isaiah Thomas, the season he's been having for the Celtics.
9-0 Kentucky run. Vandy has cooled a bit. Willis, he solves that problem. Peyton Willis.
Now you mentioned that 9-0 run by Kentucky prior to that make, and it's still a 13-point lead for Vanderbilt.
And they were up 25-6. They had an 18-2 run, and Kentucky was scoreless for over 5 minutes. Off the glass is Briscoe. Remember, he had that career-high 23 points in the first meeting at Vandy. Pressure on Willis, nearly tapped away. Instead, the corner. Fisher Davis went short into the hands of Briscoe. Up ahead, Monk. Aggressive through the lane and scores it. Monk was. We got juice here at Rupp, and you know it's going to be rocking down there on Tobacco Road come Saturday night. Look forward to that, Rabbi. And Jefferson had 14. Jackson had 22 for Duke tonight. As the guys will tell you everything you need to know, the happenings in the ACC, the national scene, and get their take as to what we're seeing here with this Vandy team. Last team in, says Lenardi, and this Kentucky team trying to secure that top spot come Nashville in the SEC tourney. What a start for Bryce Drew's squad.
Now you look at one of the big numbers tonight. They are +8 in points off of turnovers on this game. They were -8 in the game in Nashville back in early January.
Kentucky responded with a 13-3 run after Vandy jumped out big 25-6.
What you want to do is be very patient offensively for Vanderbilt right now. Get this lead, find the shot that you want, and take it to the break with you.
Boy against Briscoe. Fade away. Fournette couldn't get it to tap his way into the hands of Willis. Through the lane, stripped away again from Fox. Kressler on the go. Runner. And he draws the foul.
They're going to call tripping on Derek Willis.
And Sean, to your point about Vanderbilt's offense, in that last huddle, Bryce Drew was telling his guys, if you've got a wide open shot, take it and make it. He said, we've got to keep playing to our advantages. And when we have the ball, play our pace. They're going to keep pressing us. Just play our game.
No, you're right, Kaylee, and that was an example right there where Kressler felt like he had an advantage in the open floor and got the trip to the free throw line. Now, a slight change from what they did last game. They didn't have anybody along the lane at the free throw line. Tess, it was crazy back in early January. Everybody would drop back. They've got one guy in. It's Jeff Roberson.
We're so concerned about transition for Kentucky. Kressler's a 65% shooter, by the way, but they've got some better shooters that give them less of a concern of assessing that risk. And here's one of the best scorers in the country, Malik Monk. And all of a sudden, he has 7, and we have a 7-point game. Pats have clawed their way back within range.
Well, that's a push-off. That's a clear foul against Willis. It's going in the opposite direction. Again, know who you are and who you are not. And what Vanderbilt is not is a one-on-one driving team. When you extend out defensively like Dom Hopkins did right there, what it does is it forces you to put the ball on the ground. And some of these Commodores are not comfortable doing that.
Saw Willis extend that right arm. Monk, lane opened up. He's in, and the foul.
So you get a great defensive stop. It energizes your team, leads into the offense. Again, here we go with that on-ball screen action, the little handoff. Watch the roll to the rim. Everybody goes back with Bam, but then they realize nobody went to the ball, so they both step up, and that's what freed up Bam on that back line there. And a nice decision by Malik Monk. So often we talk about his scoring. He facilitated on that one.
9-0 Kentucky run. 18-3 over the last 6.5 minutes to close to within 4. 2 fouls now on Joe Toy. He was the hot hand earlier to build this lead. Shot clock down to 3 with chance. And that'll stop the run. Riley LaChance. Coming up on the final half minute of a wildly entertaining back and forth first half here. Into the paint. Bam! Denied from behind by Roberson.
Good hustle that time by Riley LaChance to try to track it down. He tried to throw it off of Isaiah Briscoe, but was standing out of bounds.
Shot clock at 12. 26.4 remaining in the half. First half of runs. Briscoe well off the mark on the runner. Vandy will have last chance here.
And they will have the lead going to the break.
Willis probing, searching, but not landing on it.
A big first half for Vanderbilt. They got off to that great streak that extended out this lead.
Let's go to Kaylee.
Coach, you said you wanted to see your team fight tonight. How do you describe what you saw after Vanderbilt's hot start?
Well, Vanderbilt made a bunch of threes and made 4 of them on one player. And we missed every open shot to start the game. So, you know, being down 6 points or whatever it is kind of amazing.
How did taking your defense full court change the complexion of things?
Well, I just told them we got to scramble up the game a little bit because they're getting in a rhythm, so that's why we did it.
A season-low 24 first-half points for Kentucky. Coming up, stay tuned for Carl Ravage, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams, and the Alfa Romeo halftime report right after these messages. Super Tuesday is presented by CenturyLink as we're here in Lexington, and you are watching the SEC on ESPN. 9 turnovers for Kentucky, led to 9 Vandy points. Kentucky trailed by 19 at one point. Now number 9 is down by 6 to this upset-minded Vandy team, Sean.
Well, the first half was all about runs. So, you know, the 7:41 timeout, it was a 14-point lead. Vandy was shooting 50% from the floor. Did a great job with an 8-2 advantage inside the paint. But then things changed. It was a 10-2 advantage for Kentucky down the stretch. They tightened things up. But overall, to me, the defense was superb. The rotations were sharp for Vanderbilt, and it's the reason why they have the lead going to the break.
Remember, De'Aaron Fox didn't play the other day. Had the knee injury. Back tonight, 4 turnovers, no assists. How does Vandy maintain this?
Well, they've got to maintain their composure. I thought the press did a lot of good things for Kentucky. They sped Vandy up a little bit too much. I think Vanderbilt, sometimes punting is a good possession. Right. All right, let the shot clock wind down. Be patient. Get this game to maintain at your pace, because if you speed it up, you're playing into Kentucky's hands.
What's up, Miss Hartung?
And Tess, to your question of how Vanderbilt sustains this, Brycer told me it's all about the pressure that Kentucky brings. He says when we break it, we've got to take the open shots. We can't take bad shots when we're able to get that advantage. He said in the first 10 minutes of that first half, his team was patient, and he loved that. They made the extra pass, but the second 10 minutes of that first half, he said they dribbled too much. That's how he explains a lack of patience.
So here we go. Second half action. Cornette. He can't get it started for the Doors. As it'll stay this way. Last touch by Kentucky. 6 of Vandy's first 9 points were in the paint. Then 4 of their last 21 points were in the paint. Kentucky averages 12 turnovers a game. Already 9, we told you, with some sloppy play.
And you look at it, Malik Monk, 3 of 10 shooting. Remember the second half he had against Florida?
No, everybody does. He only had 3 points at the half and went for 33. A 30-point second half Saturday against Florida. And that's a good Florida team Monk did that against. Roberson lost it. Briscoe gets it up ahead. And here goes Monk to get things started.
It's not a matter if, it's a matter when number 5 is going to get going, and I anticipate a big second half for Malik Monk. It starts at the defensive end. Kaylee just mentioned it. They don't want him dribbling. Well, they dribbled that time. It ended up being a turnover and an easy run out for Malik Monk to finish.
Foul charge to Nolan Kressler.
This is one of the more electrifying scorers in all of college basketball. He can turn it on with a flip of a switch.
First freshman in Kentucky history with 4 30-point games. Leads the SEC in scoring, averaging 21.5. Of course, had that 47-point performance against UNC earlier this year.
Good job defensively fighting over the top of these screens right now for Kentucky.
Roberson backs down against Willis and gets the friendly roll to go.
He is the one guy that can maintain his post position and try to score with his back to the basket on this team.
Slightly undersized 4-man, but he can get the job done. Hawkins baseline drive, gets it over to Bam, and he puts it in. Adebayo with 8. And it's a 3-point game here at Rupp. Roberson again against Willis. Lowers that shoulder, goes to the other side, and is effective.
I like the last 2 possessions for Vanderbilt. I like the attempt of what they're doing. They're being patient within their offense. They're finding Roberson, who did not score at all in the first half.
Hawkins, 3-ball. Kressler the rebound. As that time, Briscoe reached in his first.
You look at Roberson and just so comfortable. Floor spacing on the outside. The amount of shooters they have forces the defense sometimes to stay a little bit wider than you would think and doesn't allow them to pinch in and help. And a nice job by Roberson seeing that seam and then finishing.
Good work from the junior from Houston. Vanderbilt has a 5-point lead here.
weave action gets the defense shifting side to side, sometimes can lull you to sleep and allow a seam to attack.
Straight up to Toy, and he was fouled, drawing the foul, working that time against Willis. And that's the second on Willis.
And this is what is designed by that dribble weave handoff action. You try to get a mismatch where you feel like you can attack, and Toy able to do that. Spins, and they say Willis got him with the body underneath. Looked like pretty good defense. Remember, Toy had the big start to this game. Shooting the ball so well from the outside, had a pair of threes.
And that's the 2 free throws, an 8-point night, and a 7-point lead as Bryce Drew, coach, is wired up for us tonight.
High ball screen! High ball screen! Help Joe! Oh, he traveled! Good job. He's fucking short in that
time. The insight from Drew. We have access to Coach Drew all night long. Aaron Fox looking to get his rhythm after a 5-point Vandy lead. They look to Roberson again. Back out to Cornette. LaChance, shot fake through the lane, out to Kressler. Extra pass, Toy. Again, he does it from the corner. He has 11.
And Tess, that's just beautiful offense. That's exactly what you want to see for Vandy. Get the ball in the middle of the paint, pass it out, force the defense to extend, and then make the extra pass.
How about Fox ducking under 7'1" Luke Cornette?
I would attack the interior of this defense all night long, just like they did in the first meeting.
Little pressure, but up ahead to Kressler. And jamming it is Cornette on the other end. Cornette was born right here in Lexington. His mom, Tracy, was a local news anchor back in Kentucky. Now she's at home in Nashville. Fox testing it again. Off the mark as he tried to get around with that left hand. Roberson looked to step back for a moment against Gabriel. Now they'll reset with LaChance. 8-point Vandy lead. Running down and puts it in. And a technical foul on Coach Cal.
Emotions running high here in Lexington. The push-off doesn't get called. The shot is made, and Cal gets teed. We'll take you back to that last possession, and what you're going to see is Luke Cornette's going to be up here. Here's the coaching box. This is where you're allowed to be. Coach Cal a little bit outside of it to begin with. This is going to make him want to move even closer. A missed call there. Cornette clearly extended out his arm. Coach Cal extends out even further. Has some words, gets teed up, gets warned that he needs to step back, in which he eventually does. But a big moment here in this game, Tess, because that should have been an offensive foul going the opposite direction with Kentucky's ball. Instead, it is a made basket, and now the technical foul.
And as it stands, a 10-point lead. Kaylee.
All that energy, if you can call it that you saw out of Coach Cal once he got into the huddle was then directed towards De'Aaron Fox because he doesn't feel like he's being aggressive enough. He said if you want to help this team, you got to bring pressure. He said you can be a great defender when you want to be, but you got to do it for us now.
As Cornette knocks them down, shoots 85% from the line. By the way, we've done a lot of Kentucky games, and there's been one constant trend, and that is they've allowed opponents over 50% shooting in the second half, 7 of the last 10 games, and Vandy already 5 of 6 early on here in the second half of tonight's show.
Very comfortable, and that's what goes back to what Kaylee was just talking about with Coach Cal. Needing his team to buy into the defensive end of the floor, you cannot just exchange baskets. The offensive rhythm that Vanderbilt's had has been predicated upon finding the shot that they exactly want and being able to knock it down.
And that is 3 fouls now on Joe Toye. Toye with 11 points, made those 3 big three-pointers. Fox, step back for a moment. Gabriel will pull the trigger. That rattles out. And there's going to be a call underneath.
And that one's going to go against Kressler. I think he got his elbow in the back of Bam Adebayo as he tried to box out for that rebound and secure it for Vanderbilt. So a couple of quick fouls in exchange for that technical foul for Kentucky at this end of the floor.
That's 2 on Kressler. Remember, he started off red hot. 9 points for Kressler tonight. Dan tried to follow that up. That is a foul that time.
That is the 3rd foul on this possession for Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt, though, at the defensive end of the floor, what they've been able to do over the last 4 games, you see the success that they've been able to have. Kentucky tonight, though, struggling just as much. And the three-point field goal percentage really doing an excellent job defending out and then not allowing points off of turnovers and transition looks have been very key for Vanderbilt in this 12-point lead.
So Kressler will take a seat with 3 fouls as Matthew Fisher-Davis will check in for Vandy. And Bam connects to make it an 11-point game here.
And remember, this press was successful in speeding up Vanderbilt in the first half. In order to get to that press, you have to be able to make shots.
Extending out here. Coming around that screen. I'm going to get the call on Hawkins. Reminder, Saturday night on ESPN. We've got Blue Devils and Tar Heels going at it again. Duke and North Carolina in a Sonic blockbuster Saturday night, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Got a good look at Duke earlier tonight. The win against Florida State. Florida State took the February 9th matchup at Cameron Indoor against UNC.
Frank Jackson, a huge game tonight for the Duke Blue Devils.
And travel call that time as Fisher-Davis tried to rev the engine. 10 turnovers for Vandy now.
And you look at the numbers in that rivalry, that great rivalry. As of late, it has been dominated by Duke, winning 11 out of the last 15 meetings.
Fox on the drive. And into the hands of Riley LaChance. Down low, big man, Cornett.
Good ball movement, and again, this is a different kind of team. So you're running tests to the three-point line. And in running to the three-point line, if they send somebody to the hoop, they're going to find something easy underneath. And Cornett was able to get his second dunk in the second half.
2 times that's been the case. He is 13. Monk couldn't answer. Saving the ball was Riley. Loses it for a moment, fighting for it on the ground and calling timeout is Luke Cornett. Good hustle from the big man.
Valuing the possession. Understanding you don't want to have a turnover that end of the floor that could lead to an easy 2. Vanderbilt with a 13-point lead over the Cats.
Top 10 Kentucky team trailing by 13 to Vandy. Malik Monk, their only double-digit score. Of course, he's a contender for college basketball's highest individual honor in our Wendy's Wooden Watch.
What drives me the most is my mom and my brother, just them helping me throughout my whole entire life. Just me trying to get back to them and my community with my college decision that was behind me. Throughout it all, I was just trying to give back to them and just look forward and just play for them.
Well, Malik Monk, huge performances throughout the course of the season test. You mentioned the 47 against Carolina. And always in the big moments, you look for Malik Monk to step up and ignite this offense. He's done it throughout the course of the year. A clear example of that Saturday against Florida. Right now, they need Malik Monk to engage in the offense and ignite this team once again.
Look at the shooting percentage in the second half for Vandy. They have opened up this second half. 6 of 7 shooting. 4 for 4 on their free throws. 8 points in the paint. Here's a turnover. Briscoe, all too easy.
Stay in this press if you're Kentucky. has been highly successful.
Officials going over to the scorer's table.
So, looking at a clock issue, I would imagine it's the only thing that they could be looking at. What this does, though, is it allows Kentucky to get back and set up their press once again.
See if they continue with success there. In the Fisher-Davis, Monk red in his face.
Dangerous pass that time by Fisher-Davis. That's a push off again.
Yeah. And they get Willis again. Second time he's been tagged with that push off.
Well, we saw the one against Cornette that they missed earlier, and this a no-doubter once again. That was the first one that they could have called. Here comes the second. You gotta be careful when you're dribbling the ball, extending out your elbow, initiating contact against the defense.
Swung Willis. Hawkins around Willis this time. And Briscoe will reset things. Hawkins. Dom Hawkins on senior night. A lot of reflection this week from Coach Cal. Talked about seeing him play in the Kentucky high school playoffs here at Rupp. Said he was humble, smart, great teammate. They need all of that here in this second half for a comeback.
There's going to be a foul called against Malik Monk, but it's Hawkins at the defensive end that took the forearm push-off and then offensively driving the lane. And what you look for from seniors on senior night is a little bit of toughness. His minutes have increased because of Coach Cal trusts him in particular at the defensive end of the floor.
Meaningful for him, Kaylee.
Richmond, Kentucky, about 20 miles from where we are right now, and it was always his dream to play for Kentucky. He had a lot of offers coming in through his senior year, Louisville, Butler, Wichita State, but it wasn't until after the final game of his high school career where he led Madison Central High School to a Kentucky State title right here on the floor at Rupp with Cal in the stands, and he got the scholarship offer he dreamed of.
This is going the other way here. The juice is starting to flow. Crowd here at Rupp is hoping for a comeback. We'll see if the Cats can land it when we return. You guys. Thank you, Chris. Providence listed as a last four in. Georgia Tech a first four out. This is what happened moments ago. Isaiah Briscoe was walking off the court. Kaylee, what can you tell us?
He went down the tunnel, spoke with medical members of the staff, and I'm told he has a sore thumb and he's ready to go back in.
I was on that exchange right there, but they were holding his arm as he walked off the floor, so that's good news if it's just a sore thumb.
47-38. They were up 47-34. Then a couple of turnovers and a missed shot. Monk with the right hand off the glass.
It's Malik Monk time right now. Look, but they've got to get stops, partner. Vanderbilt shooting 75% from the floor here in the second half.
And now getting a little sloppy. Turnover. 13th for Vanderbilt. And Kentucky in the midst of a 6-0 run. As they look to cut into this lead even further. Fifth turnover this half for Vandy.
They get the ball down low to Vandy.
As they were working in that direction. And got the foul down low. Here's that previous possession with Monk. You said it's Monk time.
It has to be, because he is the guy that ignites the offense. It's no secret what he can do. Can shoot the ball from the outside, yes, but he is electrifying when he puts it down and utilizes his athleticism.
In the bonus shooting, 1-and-1 is banned. Fisher-Davis with 3 fouls now. And there is that left thumb of Isaiah Briscoe. He's the only player in the SEC averaging at least 13 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 4 assists. Steady, productive sophomore for the Cats. As Bam takes care of business, And it's just a 5-point lead now. 8-0 run. Kentucky has never led in this game. Cornette bringing it up as he gives way now to Roberson.
I think it's a great way to go against the press. Bam Adebayo not comfortable having to defend full court in the press against a player with the skill set of Luke Cornette. The guards have been struggling against the pressure.
Shot clock. Tommy! As Jeff Roberson comes up clutch. Monk on the drive. The chance the rebounds.
Yeah, credit Cornette. He didn't get the block, but he certainly altered the trajectory of that shot, having to shoot up over the top of Cornette as he slid over in the help side position.
Going to get the call there on Adebayo, his second.
You think about great possessions for Vanderbilt. They want to take as much time as they can off the clock, and then they want to get good looks, and they got one there. Wenyen Gabriel late in his closeout. See how his hands are down? His hands come up, but there's too much space there. It allowed Roberson to see up over the top.
8th three-pointer of the night for Vandy. That is how they define themselves. Fox tried to slap it away. Kressler chased it down. The chance thought better that time with Bam tracking. Roberson against Willis. He was looking to find the weaving LaChance. Instead, another turnover. And that is 14 and 6 in this second half.
Bryce Drew knew that was going to be a clean look for Riley LaChance, who had relocated. Poor awareness that time by Roberson.
Adebayo, as he went up strong for the second chance, and will head to the line. And that's 2 on Cornette.
Bam Adebayo, as you mentioned, posted back-to-back double-doubles. 40 points and 30 rebounds in his last 2 games. The back-to-back 15 rebounds are the most that a UK player has grabbed since 1994 with Jared Prickett.
And he has reached double figures in 24 of 30 games now. 12 points, 5 rebounds tonight. Check in with Taylor.
And those numbers that Bam's been putting up lately, he'll tell you one way to explain it. He's now 10 pounds lighter. Bam's gone on a diet. I asked him today what was on the menu for lunch. He said, yeah, can't you tell? I'm losing some weight. I'm sticking to it. Kenny Payne actually involved his mom in a discussion of getting him to give up sweets and stop eating the fried food. He says it really wasn't all that difficult.
How about the range here from Cornette? And it does make a big difference, you can tell, with Adebayo, Kaylee. 16 points for Cornette.
How many 7-footers can hit the trail 3? Nobody. In fact, he's made more 3-pointers as a 7-footer than any player in the history of college basketball.
Fox being aggressive, denied. A chance looking ahead. Roberson on the drive.
That's going to be his. There was the foul.
The contact crashing in that time from Roberson.
Well, Cornette, his ability to step out from beyond the arc. Riley LaChance drives in. Look at Humphreys, just completely collapses and just leaves Cornette open. You cannot do that.
And as you said, the NCAA's all-time leader for 3-pointers made by a 7-footer. Monk got around Roberson, hung in the air for a moment, but couldn't get it to go. 3 on 2. Kressler denied by Willis. Here comes Fox now. Up ahead, Briscoe.
Know who you are and do it well. And what Vanderbilt forgot about in transition is that they want to slow the pace down. If they play quick, they play into the hands of Kentucky. That time they went too fast, and then it allowed floor spacing and the ability to attack in transition. Rarely have they had the opportunities, but Malik Monk, an elite-level athlete that can finish up over the top.
And Kressler picks up his fourth.
Against this press, I look to get the ball to Luke Cornett and then allow Luke Cornett to try to bring it up the floor.
You said it's Monk time. He has 15 points, 10 of them here in this second half.
He'll take a short break right now, but trust me, he's going to be back out on the floor quick. There's a hand check.
And that is Fox. He came in with the contact there.
The foul is on Fox. That's his first of the team's 7.
Just his first. And he'll be shooting 1-and-1 with Toy at the line.
Checking in for Vanderbilt, our number 12.
Burnett's going to take a seat as Fisher Davis comes in. Kressler as well as Jerry Baptiste checks in.
Very impressed with Vanderbilt's ability to control the overall flow of this game, though, Tess. They have done a nice job getting back in transition, limiting those looks for Kentucky, forcing them to have to play in the half court. The Cats struggling from beyond the arc is 15% from three.
Meanwhile, Vandy has 9 3-pointers as Cornett has 2 and 16 points overall tonight.
Cornett, just an outstanding player. You know this game means a lot to him. It means a lot to Vanderbilt and their chances of getting into the NCAA tournament. His sister plays basketball for UCLA. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament. They've had a great year for Coach Close.
Here's Bam as they feed the big guy, and he will head to the line and try to cap it.
You have to have awareness of where Bam Adebayo is. This on-ball screen has worked all evening long. To me, I just stay with that play until they figure out a way to stop it, and the frustration for Bryce Drew.
Bam has been sensational down the stretch of this season. Last week, he became the first Kentucky player with back-to-back 15-plus rebound games in 22 years, and listen to Rupp. $23,000 roaring for a stop. Fisher Davis off balance. Long rebound. Vandy comes up with it. Roberson tapped away. '27 straight SEC home wins for Kentucky, but they've been trailing all night long. And a timeout, Bryce Drew. Fox gets them within 2.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
336 total games in Champ Week, 26 conferences. And will the SEC tournament be critical for Vanderbilt? Right now, they're the last 4 in. But this notch on the belt could be huge. They've won 4 straight, and they're trying to hold on here, but the Cats are closing hard into it. Vandy by 2 with 7.5 to play. Closest Kentucky has been since the game started at 2-zip.
Big possession here for Vanderbilt. The momentum and everything going to that timeout was in favor of Kentucky.
Vandy started the second half 6 of 7 shooting. Since then, 5 turnovers and 2 of 6 on field goals. Toy and took steps. Check in with Haley.
A reminder from Bryce Drew in that last huddle. A lot of the same that we heard him reminding his team at the half. Be patient. He said, don't be in a rush. Take our shot.
These are big moments for a team that hasn't had a lot of big moments throughout the course of the season. Not like this. They got to win at Florida on the resume. They got to win at Arkansas on their resume.
And whistle before we got it over to Adebayo. That is 4 fouls on Joe Toy. Reminder, everybody very proud about O.J. Made in America winning the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. And if you missed it, you want to see it again every night this week on ESPN2 at 11 Eastern. Tonight, you can catch part 2 at 11 o'clock. That is a magnum opus of ESPN Films. Well deserving of that honor, the Academy Award.
They got that envelope correct.
Hey, they did.
They missed on a couple of.
We're all tied up here. 54 apiece. Able to take care of that pressure. But now the pressure of playing these last 6.5 minutes with the game on the line at Kentucky. Cornet, well off the mark. He had the hot hand.
Elevate Bam, get that pick and roll if you can.
Monk steps back. Free ball won't go. Rebound Roberson.
Defensive intensity so increased for Kentucky. You can see it. There's going to be a foul away from the ball. That is an important foul, Tess, because what it does is it sends Vanderbilt back to the line and allows them to manufacture points.
In the bonus. Adebayo with 3. Roberson connects on the first.
The free throws slow the game down. It quiets the crowd. The crowd has been electric here in the last couple of minutes.
Kentucky trailed by 19 early on. There's a game of runs in the first half. And then Vandy came out shooting well in the second half. But then the turnovers got the best of them, and the Cats came back. And that's going to be a travel as Monk tried to rev the engine a little too early. And that's the first turnover in this second half for Kentucky. Vanderbilt wish they could say the same. They turned it over 8 times to allow for Kentucky to get right back in this. Cornet, long ball again. Fox on the go. Pass with chance. And he will head to the line.
His ability to shift it into another gear and apply pressure off the bounce. It might be senior night, but it is the freshman here in the second half. 26 of the team's 30 coming from the freshman.
Fox, Monk, and Bam on the season are combining to average 50 points, over 14 rebounds, and over 8 assists per game. That is the trio of choice. Tied again, 56 apiece. Cornet did this before. Big man bringing it up. Remember, Vandy playing to try to help that cause right on the bubble. Kentucky's playing for the #1 seed in the SEC tournament.
And only one timeout for Vanderbilt. So against the press, you have to be able to break it and have some composure. You want to save that timeout for a late game situation.
Great point. Toy. He was fouled and will head to the line as they will tag Willis here. And that is 3 on Willis.
The foul is on Willis. That's his 3rd and the team's 9.
Toy 3 of 4 from the free throw line so far tonight.
Front rim from Toy. Been shooting 70% from the stripe. Willis, 3-ball, yes! Kentucky's first lead. .1-point swing from when Vandy had their largest lead. As LaChance threw it away, but it was deflected. Kentucky touched it last. Six seconds remain on the shot clock as Toy will inbound. Roberson thought about it. LaChance willing. How about it? Deep as could be. Riley, LaChance. Are you entertained, Farnham? Does it feel super enough this Super Tuesday?
Feels like March. It might be February 28th, but it is that level of intensity, that level of importance.
60-59. Back and forth they go now. Puts it down. 20-point game for Malik Monk. Cats by 2 again. Toy rejected, but the foul happened. Can barely hear the whistle here at Rupp.
On senior night, Kentucky's own Derek Willis gives the Cats the first lead of the night, and then it's Riley LaChance from long distance to answer right back. But if you have any doubt who to go to, look for number 5 in white. Malik Monk, so many times this year he's hit the big shot. He does it once again. The Cats, they're out in front.
Tonight's High Flyers brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Well, the pick and roll play has been great all evening long for Kentucky, and Bam Adebayo has been benefiting from it. 4 of 6 from the floor, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. A lot of N1 opportunities, 16 points, 6 rebounds, a block and a couple of steals, but he has been playing above the rim all night long.
Adding 20 from Malik Monk, and 11 from Fox. And a 62-60 lead for Kentucky here with 3:20 to play. They have made 5 of their last 6 shot attempts. Vandy 1 of their last 6 and a turnover.
The freshman for Kentucky, the trio. Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk. 47 of the team's 62 points have come from them.
For Vandy. Coach Cal sits back. And it's If they are to accomplish this task, it would be the largest comeback for Kentucky under Coach Calipari. 19 points they trailed. Previously, they came back from 18 down. Denied that time as Cornette got up defensively.
A great awareness and understanding by Luke Cornette. Getting back, deflecting that ball out of bounds. And if I'm Kentucky, I go right back to that play.
Fox lost it. Vandy ball.
He's just been trying to do too much tonight. That is his 5th turnover on the game.
Didn't practice up until getting after it at shoot-around today. The left knee contusion, injured last Tuesday at Mizzou and missed the Saturday win against Florida. Shot clock under 5. And Willis with the rebound. Fox over 7'1" Luke Cornette. He has 10 in this second half alone. How will Vandy respond? Here's Kressler off the weave. Back to LaChance. 3-ball. As Kressler coming around. And that is 5 on Nolan Kressler.
A good call, not set. You see him turn his shoulder in. And Kressler will go to the bench. And watch this. To me, this is also because of Bam. Cornette was aware that they could lob it in because they had a mismatch underneath. So he backed up and gave space. That's what allowed De'Aaron Fox to have that open look.
Briscoe. Wrap that thumb all you want, my man. 4-point Kentucky lead. Vandy needs a little something now. In this second half, 9 field goals made, framed against 9 turnovers. Roberson. Forced out the shot clock running down. The last 2 possessions haven't been good, Tess.
They are working it around too deep into the shot clock, passing up on better looks earlier in the shot clock.
Monk. He wants to sit. Timeout, Vandy.
Down 19 to up 7, under a minute left to go. Malik Monk seals it. Watch the way, changes direction, loses his guy, comes off the screen, feet set, nobody's there. Able to knock it down, and then Isaiah Briscoe on the previous possession, wedging out space, being able to finish. Look, it's not just about playing well from start to finish. I know that's what everybody thinks. It's what Cal talked about, wanting to be consistent for 40 minutes. But sometimes, Tess, sometimes in the game of college basketball, you're not going to be at your best. And you've got to find a way to get a win. And when you look to find that, look for number 5, just as he did on Saturday. It has been a huge second half for Malik Monk, spearheading this offense, emotionally energizing the offense. Malik Monk coming through once again for the Kentucky Wildcats.
23 points after he went for 33 against Florida on Saturday. A reminder, more great action will be coming your way Saturday night on ESPN. Blue Devils and Tar Heels as they meet in Chapel Hill to close out the regular season. Duke and UNC in a sonic blockbuster Saturday night, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. What a night it's been here on senior night. It started with Derek Willis proposing marriage to his girlfriend Keely. She said yes. Willis said no. Rejection. And then the 3-ball to get things going down the stretch of this second half. And Miss Potts, the soon-to-be Mrs., has got to be loving this. Go Big Blue, she says, as they have gone to take the lead from all the way down by 19. If it stands, it'll be the largest comeback for Kentucky under Coach Cal. Cornette turnaround as he was fouled. 35.9 seconds remain as he will head to the line. A 26-point swing since Vandy led by 19 in the first half. That's 4 on Adebayo.
And a good job there for Vanderbilt. They had to get something quick. They tried to get Matthew Fisher-Davis coming off of a double screen. They didn't have him get the ball to Cornette. He gets fouled, stops the clock, allows him to try to get to the free throw line.
Checking up for Vanderbilt is number 1.
Vandy is just 1-46 in their history against a ranked Kentucky team.
And Tess, that's going to change, though, with Bryce Drew as their head coach.
And here they stood tonight, up by 19 earlier tonight.
The culture is changing, though, at Vanderbilt. You can kind of see the direction in which it's going. A lane violation by De'Aaron Fox allows an extra free throw here for Luke Cornette. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, look, this is going to be a tough loss to swallow if this score remains for the final 35.9. But you can clearly see the direction in which this program is going under Bryce Drew. The energy that is coming alive.
Down 5 here.
They almost got the steal.
That time was Roberson as he was trying to chase it down and secure that ball for Vandy.
De'Aaron Fox has been loose with the basketball tonight.
Really struggled in the first half with 4 turnovers as we will have the foul here. Double bonus, so they'll be shooting 2 from the line.
The foul is off the chance. That's his third.
Derek Willis got down on the knee earlier and now standing on the line looking to put this thing away.
Mentioned Malik Monk the last 2 second halves. 2 missed free throws, cracks open the door for Vanderbilt. They got to go quick here. Sense of urgency. Try to get a quick 3. Look for Matthew Fisher-Davis.
How about Cornette? Why not? Only a 2-point game now with 22 seconds and a timeout called by Kentucky. 21 points for Luke Cornette. 3-ball goes down.
There is no quitting Vanderbilt. They've shown that in the last 2 possessions. Luke Cornette pops up. They were setting up for the double screen for Matthew Fisher-Davis. Cornette elevates up. The defense was slow in reacting, anticipating the screen for Fisher-Davis. And a good clean look, and Cornette able to knock it down. This has been so much fun. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in Nashville next week at the SEC tournament?
Now Kentucky with that 1-game lead that they earned with the win against Florida. A win tonight, and they will clinch the #1 seed in Nashville for the SEC tourney. Vandy's gotten a lot of respect with 4 straight wins. Joe Lunardi says, as of now, last team in. Kentucky tonight would be a huge notch on the belt. They got an opportunity game against Florida, or will there still be work to be done in Nashville back home in the tournament? For now, trailing by 2. Kentucky inbounding off the timeout. 22.1 remains. Get it into Monk. And he is fouled. Of course, Monk shoots 84%.
And 5 of 6 tonight at the free throw line. Obviously, if he makes one and misses the second, you're looking at a one-possession game still for Vanderbilt. Plenty of time with 21 seconds left to go.
As he pushes it to 3. Second half points for Malik Monk. 4-point margin here. Turnover. Kentucky ball.
Bad floor spacing on that possession as Matthew Fisher-Davis tried to elevate out. Cornette wasn't ready for the flip from Riley LaChance.
And into Fox. And he's able to get it to Monk. And he was fouled a little hard by LaChance there. Crowd didn't like that. So Monk will look to add to his total. Vandy team has played tough schedule. And coming on strong down the stretch. Had the win over Iowa State in the challenge, the Big 12 SEC challenge that sparked things, and 4 straight wins coming in. And really turned it on early on before Kentucky hit their stride.
That is the 6th time that Malik Monk this season has scored 20-plus points in a half.
And that'll do it, as Kentucky has now won 7 straight, and that is the largest comeback for Kentucky under Coach Cal. They trailed by 19. They win by 6. And with that win, 15-2 in the SEC, Kentucky clinches the #1 seed in the SEC tournament.
They stayed with the process. They did not defend well for a majority of the game. But when they needed baskets, they knew who to turn to as Bam Adebayo and Malik Monk.
Kaylee's with Coach.
Coach, this was the largest comeback win of any team that you've coached at Kentucky. How did this team do it?
Well, we didn't play desperate to start the game, and we played desperate in the second half. The second thing is they made every shot, and we missed every shot. They made every... It happens in a game. All you want to see your team do is fight and then stay together. And we stayed together. These are all great games for this young team. Believe me, I hate to go through it. I'm sweating. I ruined another suit. But you got to go through this stuff to get ready for March.
All season long, we have talked about the process of the season. Tomorrow's March 1st, and pretty soon you'll head to Nashville with the #1 seed in the conference tournament. Who is this team now?
We're getting better. I'm just happy.
Hey, Cal, keep ruining suits. It makes for good TV. We loved it. Fun one here at Rupp. 73-67. Kentucky will be the #1 seed in Nashville for the SEC tournament. 27 points for Malik Monk, 16 for Big Bam, and 13 for Fox. Coming up next on ESPN, stay tuned for SportsCenter. For Kaylee and Sean, I'm Joe Tessitore saying enjoy the rest of your night.